Is quiz?
No, please.
Did I ask? Bro, y'all ready for that? Today's Thursday. Who are you? Why are you? Let's do my dance here. Rosh, you want to back row? I got that on me. I don't know. Chris has my pockets. Why do you just give people stuff? It's sort of evil. Oh my. You're trying to give me your paper cut? Your paper cut.
Why is it so? That's so racist. That is so racist. What did he say that was racist?
Yo, they give you a shout out.
Turn the recording off. End it, bro.
Okay, the article I just gave you, it's from New York Times Magazine last year. They started doing a whole series because it being 2019, it was the 400-year anniversary of the first slaves being brought to the Americas. Okay. Or to North America, specifically like the North American colonies. So this article is a really good one. It deals with, since we've been taught, we've been looking at slavery. We still got, from about where we are now, in history, several decades, if not a century or more, until the abolition of slavery. Okay, but this is a real good one because we've been talking about these early economic systems of mercantilism and capitalism, and this article really explains well how modern American capitalism can trace its roots back to slavery and the plantations. That many of the things that we think of and that many people assume came out of the Industrial Revolution actually came out of the plantation slave economy. So go ahead and start reading it. We will take some time in class to kind of go over it because I understand probably some of the things in there. Even if you've heard about them, you might not fully understand them. Probably most of y'all somewhat know what a mortgage is, but some of the other financial things that they're relating to in there. So we will spend some time in class. However, it will be much better if you've already read through it, even if there are parts that you don't fully quite understand before we do it. Don't know if we'll get that tomorrow or Monday, but hopefully, it's not a hard read. Again, it's written for a magazine, so it's not like an academic journal paper or something like that. It's, to me, it's much easier and much more sort of enjoyable than say like the textbook or even the AMSCO. It's written for, well-educated, but not for a specialist to read. So it's not written for historians, it's written for general consumption. So hopefully you'll find it somewhat interesting, even if a little depressing. But yeah, so start on that, and from here on out, you don't really have. Also, as a reminder, since your test is next week, you need to be studying now, okay? And with that, it's been up on my calendar, but the essay part is still an SAQ, okay? Probably the next unit test will do your first long essay because by then you'll have kind of gone through the motions in class and stuff. And so you'll be ready to do one, just here's the question, you've got to answer it, okay? But this one will still be an SAQ. However, the vast, most of the questions for the multiple choice, this is going to very much look like an AP style question. Test.
27?
Yes, or no? Step outside the hall if you want, just so it would be more quiet. You wanna take the test, guys, you can't right. Okay, so, yeah, so the questions we'll be using will all be from, the College Board. Okay, so, yeah, so basically you're going to have documents with every single multiple choice question, okay? They'll all be from the College Board website. We're in the process of making it now, but they are challenging, okay? Focus on, practice with the sample questions in the AMSCO. Look in the course description to help get you ideas of sort of the stuff that you need, how you need to be preparing. The course description, so sample questions in the course description, but also with the course description, look over what are the illustrative examples that they expect you to know. What are the specific things that they're looking that you'll be able to understand. It's not, I'm just saying, start preparing now because it's not going to be, simple questions like, just simply, who was the admiral that led, voyages of exploration during the Ming Dynasty? Yeah, y'all know that, but, it's going to be these questions where you have to apply your knowledge, not just remember a fact, okay? So just keep that in mind, start preparing now. And again, for things like this, you can't just sort of guess what the specific questions are going to be, but things that'll help you is, making timelines, making sure you know all of this information, looking at the various different things that we've looked at, and make the charts like I showed you. We're divided up between what are the political things going on, the social, and the economic. All right, so everyone got that? Okay. Yeah, so just, use this weekend to go ahead and get started. Don't wait till next Wednesday night to try to start studying, or you're not going to do so well. All right, so, Someone else question? There. So, gonna start looking at the French Revolution today. All right, what this mostly is going to go through is looking at the causes. Okay, so primarily causes, and then we'll look at the very end, which we might get to tomorrow, just depends. We'll then look at how the French Revolution is divided into the 4 phases. Okay, and that's sort of how we break it up. But most of this is just simply going to be looking at the situation in France and what the causes of the revolution were. Okay. All right, so I'm going to begin by just simply looking at the situation in France in general during the 1700s. And then we'll get more specific as we go. Okay, so one, France is an absolute monarchy. Okay, and with this in Europe at the time, it's absolutism based on the concept of divine right. That kings say they're kings because God wants them to be. Okay. France still has a feudal social structure. So basically you're either a noble or you're a commoner. That's it. Part of this also though is that in this social structure